Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got ICM's latest release. This is the much anticipated, definitely by me, 1/32 Gloster Gladiator Mark 1. Now, to be honest with you, and this is one of those ones which is, it's true, honest, it might not sound like I'm just saying it, but it actually is true. I've wanted to build a 32nd Gladiator for years. But to be honest with you, there's no nice ones around. And then when ICM said they were going to release one, and knowing ICM as being absolutely fantastic these days, I was right. I'm having one no matter what. So I must admit, I stuck my name down for one of these straight away, and it literally turned up a couple of weeks ago. So here we have it at last, a decent, or I'm hoping so, 1/32 Gloster Gladiator. It just fits perfectly in for that size. You know, biplanes and things like that, notoriously very, very difficult with smaller scales. For me personally, I love doing them in 32nd. They're that foot long model and they fit the deal. And also, I'm just, saying it, ICM, they were our manufacturer of the year for 2 years on the belt here at Flory Models as well when we do our annual review, purely because they have come along so well and they're continuing to advance and advance with every single release. Now, as always, quick disclaimer, I have not opened this kit. I haven't seen it before, so it'll be really interesting to see exactly what's in the box. So, looking around on the box art, we can see beautiful box art as well. What's not to love? Absolutely looks gorgeous down there. We've got so much going on in the background, and then your gorgeous Gladiator on the front there. Okay, a little bit obviously about the Gladiator down in there. As you say, basically a very much built in 1936 to 1938, short-lived aircraft, but yeah, but we all know the stories about it. Okay, so as you can see, kit number for this one is 32040. And we got a little bit of the markings down there on the box. So as you can see, we have not opened this whatsoever. So we just have a quick look down in the box, and then just in here, as always at ICM, you've got this sort of double system. No, we're still more stickies on each side. So what we do, we'll just try and get it out of the box. Me and Zvezda have this love-hate relationship. I love them, they hate me getting them out of the box. Okay, so there we go. So as I said, you do get this sort of box within a box situation. So having a look inside, we can see typical crystal clear bag with immediately what looks like an amazing, very nice kit. Okay, so first of all, as always, we'll have a delve in the instructions to see exactly what's going on in here. You can see the decals, so we'll just pop them out of the way for the moment. Okay, so ICM's usual way of laying this out, as we can see, we've got other marks and coming along straight away by the different canopy on the front, so that's going to be very nice. Parts call out right the way through, give you an indication what you're going to be getting and finding on your sprues. Okay, getting straight on into the inside, first thing is installing the gun, okay, that fits down inside the front sort of bulkhead with the timing system out through the prop. Then we've got internal framing going right the way through, tail systems being fitted in, a couple of little clear parts I assume going in for the lights on the top. Then we've actually got the base system going in for the framework all onto the actual cockpit area, and then controls, seats, various parts being fitted in down the bottom. Next up, adding the other side into this one and placing it all in there, getting in the bulkheads, tail wheel, things like that right the way through, adding some of the details like the gun for the other side, and then obviously we're working our way through with the framework being put in on the other side. And then two halves, fuselage going in there together, and then obviously we've got the actual fuselage section with the actual gun sight being fitted in, tailplanes going in, rudder being fitted in, obviously two-part, tailplanes being fitted in, again two-part. Looks like they're all posable as well, which is very nice. A couple of call-outs for different variants being fitted in there, with depending where you're going to have the actual aerial fitted. Again, side parts being fitted on for the actual side door compartment. And then the other areas going in. Canopy, obviously, be depending where you want to fit it, things like that, and then various things on there. Top wing system, again, laminated and bottoms being fitted in, ailerons being in there, bottom one being fitted in, rear parts being put in on the bottom, pretty straightforward, looks great. Top wing system, beautiful, it's a nice one piece up there, so we're going to make them up or anything else like that. Ailerons being fitted in there, and then obviously we've got the wings being mated up, top and bottom being fitted in, and then gear, pretty much standard as you might imagine. Okay, and then some of the undergun parts being fitted into this one. I presume that's like a cooler system going underneath maybe. Okay, and then the shrouds around the actual guns underneath the wings, gear being fitted in. What's always nice with ICM, you usually get a very nice detailed engine right out of the box. Again, looks like we have right the way through. So those being fitted all in there. Then you've got the guns coming through the actual between the pots on the actual radial engine. Those are being fitted out and put through. Okay, depending on how you want it to be, obviously with shrouds, I saw the cowls and various cowlings on or off. Okay, tops of the engine pots being fitted down onto this one, exhausts and shrouds being fitted onto that one, and then you've actually got the prop being fitted on there. And then talking in here exactly about the wiring and the actual threading, if you like, for all the rigging work being fitted into that one. So again, nice clean layout of exactly showing where they all go, the wiring for the aerials at the back, so forth and so on, right the way through. So that's actually a very nice touch. Then you've got that sort of classic in the sort of the silver paint colour scheme, that sort of dope look right the way through, or the more classic camo, depending which ones you want down in there. So basically you've got the versions are one in the UK in 1930, or we've got one down in here, sorry, UK again in 39, or you've got Egypt in 1940. Okay, for those colours right the way through. And then top and bottom, you've got that earlier sort of beginning of the Second World War with the black and the white wing for identification, friend and foe markings underneath, if you were going to be doing that style. That does look very nice, I have to say. Okay, so markings, decals, big decal sheet as you might imagine, and then having a proper close-up look, you can see beautifully silk screen printed right the way on. Their decals are usually pretty good. You can see I've got a little bit of carrier going down in here with more of the lettering and things like that. But again, very nice. We've got the instrument decals and obviously some of the lift marks and trestle points and things like that underneath. Okay, into the bag itself. One big old bag. And then secondary with the clear parts, which we'll look at the end. That just, the plastic that ICM uses is very soft. You can always, I call it the chink test. It doesn't clink or anything else, but it's beautifully done. I think it must spend just that little bit longer in the mould, because you really never get sink marks or stuff on there. So the big thing we're looking at, as you can probably see, is the quality of the surface detail. So we've got all of this stuff, and then we've actually got the fabric on the rear end there with the actual formers poking through. That actually looks very nice indeed. Very sharp details right the way through on this one. Onto the inside, obviously there's nothing really to see, but it gives you a good indication of the quality of the mould when it is beautifully done just like that. So again, that looks very nice. Okay, so if we continue the theme here, you can see tops of the wings. Okay, that looks really very nice, and again it is the quality that oozes through. See, you can see those wing formers. Sorry, camera's struggling a little bit there with the glare. Okay, it's beautifully done. Very nice indeed. That's actually gorgeously done. And then obviously we've got the gun pods and the actual control surfaces. Again, all looking very nice right the way through. And then the underside of the wing, you can see the bit of the cowling there on the left. Again, the level of detail right the way through is absolutely gorgeous. So it is a two-piece, as you can see. So this is the inner and the outer. So unlike wingnut wings where it tends to be one piece all the way through, this is two pieces to glue together and then you'll go. But we've got a very fine ridge running right the way around the outside on this, and that's the nice thing. It's going to go in with this one to make a good solid join area. So it's not like very thin parts coming together which are prone to splitting, or you know got to get them together. It's got a good seam edge right the way around all of the parts like that. And even on these rear ones, you've got flat areas to get a good bite with the glue and things like that. These cowlings, if you did decide to perhaps pop them off and that, unfortunately you've got no real detail on the insides of them and a couple of ejector pins, but really I don't think that's something really to complain about. Okay, oh, we just lost the prop. Okay, so bottom of the wing, again, beautifully done right the way through. That is absolutely exquisite detail, as you can probably see running underneath here right the way through. That's looking very nice indeed. And then we've got the wheels and the control surfaces. No weight on wheels, unfortunately. Flat area, obviously, for the panel, but we do have, obviously, decals to complete those right the way through. Got a tiny little bit of flash just around those guys, but really nothing to go too much about. And then looking underneath here, we've got the details, very, very nicely done for the wings on the bottom half of the actual wing system. Sorry, that's the top half actually of the wing system, get it right. You can see some nice details right the way through. And then over here on this last bit, you can see the flooring detail and some of the other parts as well. Very, very nice indeed. Again, flipping it onto the blind side, this is all very nice again with that system going around the outside and onto here. No problems with these whatsoever. Okay, last up, we've got the other areas around for the engine details and things like that. And again, smaller parts are always very, very nice. So popping around on the close-up, we can see the control stick, the guns, all the little parts. Very, very nice indeed. And again, the highlight for me is always these engines. The pots are beautifully detailed right the way through, and you can see the exhaust areas coming off of those and working its way down. More of the actual engine, there's those exhausts, and then the finer points for down in the cockpit, we've got the trim wheels, all the smaller parts right the way through, just like that as well. Again, the beauty about this one is that it's not overcomplicating it. It's not putting stuff in there just for sake's sake, you know, just get that part count quite high. So there's no actual part count on this one, but again, it's not going to take you too long to come up with something very, very nice. Okay, clear parts. ICM over recent years have blown me away by how clear they are, and again, you can see we have no real distortion in these. That's incredibly well done. Again, we're not using this one because this is the later type, so we've got the early one over here for the clear parts, and they are pretty damn clear considering they are on some very much curved areas and things like that. Very, very nice. So we've got no seam lines or anything to deal with, and again, good sharp hard edges on the way around, so it's easy to get your masking tape down in there, press it in, and again just cut it afterwards. The prop, again, no sink marks, no nasties, no nothings in that one whatsoever. Nice detail with the bolting system on the front, and by the time we get the rest of the cowly bits around on that one, it'll spin a cap, things like that, it'll look absolutely fantastic. And there you have it, the Gloster Gladiator 1/32 scale. I have to say, I love it. I'm going to be building it very, very shortly as well. Give me a month or two to get down into this year. I'm going to get cracking on that kit and get it together because it does look to be absolutely fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to it. Can't find any fault with the kit either. If you're a World War II, especially with the biplane stuff, you're going to go out and buy this one anyway. But honestly, this looks like an absolute gorgeous kit to build.